still on? Alright, let me know if you can hear me now. Wow, that's fucking embarrassing. Let me know if it's too loud or whatever, I can turn it up or down. That's literally so embarrassing. Literally so embarrassing. Yeah, I can hear myself now. Wow. Okay. Well, hello everyone. I'm a dumb fuck and I was talking for 20 minutes there. Uh, Jesus Christ, that is so fucking awful. Well, thanks for letting me know, man. At least I didn't waste like a whole hour fucking talking to myself. Jesus Christ. It's one of the fucking dumbest things I've done today. Alright, well, I guess I'll dive back in again. I don't even. I can't believe that. Well, I'll go over everything again really briefly for fuck's sakes. Oh well, that's super shitty. Yeah, just fucking silence. Wow, cool. Okay, well, it's actually kind of a piss off, but I'll get to the point now. Hello everyone, welcome to my stream. Ugh, Jesus, my luck, eh? But yeah, once again, thanks for letting me know. So I guess briefly go over Bitcoin and Ethereum again. But there's nothing too drastic to really look at. We're range bound right now. Top of the range is here, bottom of the range is here. We had this deviation up here, and then since completely lost it, and now we're back in this range. Super similar to the one that I posted about. If you zoom out, looks pretty damn identical to this one, so I don't know if that was intentional by whoever's market making this or making the big decisions here. But regardless, we are range bound, but looking quite bullish in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. For now, I'm leaning bullish, but um, I guess theoretically, I'm neutral just because we are still under range. We haven't broken above this horizontal yet. Once we do get above, then I'll be leaning bullish again. But for now, there's still equal likelihood that we'll lose this diagonal, lose the daily open, maybe visit the midpoint or the monthly open. Um, but for now, honestly, I can't confidently say, but there is solid volume coming in. I was looking at trading light. Um, cool. I was looking at trading light at the beginning of the stream, super briefly. There's not really much to dive into. As you guys can see, it's a heat map. Looking at OKX, it's where the whales tend to trade, and you can typically get a pretty clear picture on what's going on and what's going to happen. But as you guys know, this could all be a facade. Like this could just be here for show, and then we'll smash on through. And as you can see, there's massive walls above, and then not a whole lot below us. So path of least resistance is obviously for us to take a visit down here. But for now, um, yeah, honestly, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Like I said, chart looks bullish, but these walls obviously don't look bullish, but can be smashed through or pulled or whatever at any given time. But it's just nice to at least get a rough idea of what the order book looks like. That's why I have this subscription, and that's why I check on it fairly frequently just to get a feel for it. But so that covers Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks healthy, looks good. 4-hour MAs are all flipped. 200 EMA and MA are still a little far behind, but honestly, they're also within the range, which I think is also a positive thing. They'll help hold us above like the bottom of the range so that we stay within it. So um, preferably, I'd love to just go like this for a while, but the likelihood of that, I don't know, I think is somewhat slim, but at the same time, it happened previously, and people thought we were gonna blast off. Some people thought that we were gonna, this was distribution, and we were just gonna fall and die and never see the light of day again. But clearly that wasn't the case either. So you just kind of have to take it day by day, take it level by level, and take whatever comes our way. But uh, yeah, so that covers Bitcoin. Hopefully that makes sense. Ethereum's pretty similar. Since I was talking about it 20 minutes ago, it's actually moved up a bit more. But nobody heard me talk, so I'll go over it again. Fuck, I was already losing my fucking breath a little bit after the first time around, but I'll try to make this nice and short and sweet. Yeah, clear for you guys. So we had this wedge that was forming at the beginning of August. Started August 1st, boing, 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 boing. Obviously, price got really pent up between these two diagonals, popped up above this previous high right here I have marked with this green horizontal line. And then started building this other wedge here, had this deviation above, had this deviation below. Now we've reclaimed this level once again above the 4-hour MAs, which is positive to see. But we could still, like, we can definitely close above, retest and moon, or close below, retest and fall, or, there's obviously a handful of other scenarios where, we reclaim, fall, we can do whatever, but going by the standard, like, standard plays, it's typical break above, retest up, or break below, retest down. It's pretty straightforward stuff in my opinion. But obviously we can see fake outs as we did here and here. But my assumption is on the next break we're gonna continue on that direction, but you never know. We'll see. But there's not really that much else to say about Ethereum. If I had to choose, I'd say up, but that's just me being biased because honestly it could do pretty much anything. And I mark these horizontal levels below just to get an idea of where we might bounce if we do happen to fall. Just this horizontal level we kind of bounced around and had a lot of price movement in previously at 375. We could stop at the 4-hour 200 EMA, the 4-hour 200 MA, monthly open at 346, and then down here at 316 is another horizontal level I've marked in the 4-hour 300 MA. So a bunch of levels that we could easily stop at. I'm sure we'll see some bounces if we do fall. But above there's a lot more clear skies. I'd have to zoom out and look at price history from way back in 2018 to get any kind of resistance levels if they're of even huge relevance at this point, seeing that it was so long ago. Um, for there to still be active orders from way back in 2018 are, in my opinion, slim. But will still be marked by other traders as SR points, and that'll take. Um, I think that'll have at least some effect on price action once we do get above these levels. So we'll see. I'm bullish, but that's just me being biased once again. So, all right. Um, I talked about OMG for probably about 5 minutes before too. It's kind of a little frustrating, but um, OMG we did completely miss. We rode the 1-hour MAs all the way up. The best buy-in, which I should have saw, which I did have marked on my chart, was this initial breakout and retest. Breakout retest, and then never actually closed, especially it didn't even wick below this diagonal again. So if you brought the breakout and retest, set your stop loss just below the diagonal here, um, it never would have got hit, and you'd be up 126% before leverage, just a span of a few days, just only 2 days. So imagine having like 5x leverage, you'd be up, what's that, sixfold? So that'd be pretty awesome, but missed it, unfortunately, for the most part. I think there were I did post about it, but I didn't get in and I didn't push you guys to get in. I think I just made one or two posts about OMG, but whatever. Um, so I don't know. All the majors, in my opinion, I explained earlier that I typically look at the 1-hour and 4-hour just to get a general idea of intraday action. That's what I kind of look at when it comes to these futures coins. When it comes to actual altcoins like spot coins, I 99% of the time start on the daily and go coin by coin by coin by coin. But I'll go over that like later on once I get to the spot coins. But a lot of these are, you know, either too pumped or I just don't like the structure. I look at these things constantly, um, but there's nothing that's looking overly great. Like we've lost some levels, right? And now the MAs are trying to sort themselves out, get back and group together, and we're trying to reclaim some horizontal levels. And until that happens, I'm not overly interested. IOST, I talked about this one as well a couple of minutes ago. I'll jump over to the Bitcoin pair because I think it looks a lot better, but um, it was a super clean daily retest in here into this green box. You can see a market right here. So you can see price rejected, rejected, flipped, retested, held, and then that would have been the ideal entry point, and now we're up since. I bought on the Bitcoin pair earlier today just because I think the MAs look like literal pornography. Like you do not see this overly often when they're so like tight knit after such a massive like downfall. It takes a good amount of time and honestly I think effort to make them actually look this good. But as you can see, they're like kind of all over the place. Looks kind of like sloppy, and you can't really make much of them. But now where we've um, flipped them into support, as you can see, there it was resistance, resistance. It was flipped support here, lost. Now it's reclaimed once again. But with them being so like close and tight knit underneath current price, that's in my opinion the like the best daily MA structure that you can really find. So I've been scaling in, like I mentioned on the Bitcoin pair, high 50s, low 60s. Well, that's 60 and I think it looks quite good, especially once it flips this horizontal level here I marked in green. It rejected off of this level multiple times, and so obviously is going to be seen as like a proper SR point, like moving forward. So seeing that we've rejected it so many times before, the likelihood of us rejecting is fairly high. So I'll be selling a good majority once we actually hit these levels. But once we close above and retest, I'll be scaling back in, so buying some more. Big, that's supposed to be a check mark. By the retest, and then seeing that we've closed above, this would go from resistance, resistance, resistance into an actual support level. Um, Obviously, it'd be ideal to wait for the close above and maybe wait for another close or a retest and then another close above. Basically, you just want to confirm that that level is a confirmed flip from resistance into support. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to not spend too much time, um, rambling on, but I want to make sure my points are clear for anyone watching in. But yeah, overall IRST I think looks really good. I personally have a pretty sizable bag, and we'll be watching level by level to see what happens. Because once we flip this horizontal, in my opinion, this is like the final boss, if you will. And then as you can see, there's pretty big gaps between SRs. Like the next real SR point isn't like maybe up until around here. You could draw some like decent ones, like maybe we'll stop there for a bit, maybe we'll stop here, but there's no real thick horizontals. And like as you can see, these like 60, 120, 180, so that's like 200% up to this point, and that's really like that's the first real SR in my opinion that we should have some struggle with. But once we lost this level up here, like once we went on this massive run, kind of just free fell. It didn't really stop and bounce around at any level for too long anyway. So couldn't go on a nice tear again. And with us being like so low and the daily MAs are so reset. Like, look at this. Like, we have not moved yet. So we're quite bottomed. We've gone sideways for a long period of time. And then once we get past this point here, the potential is, pretty crazy on where we could go. Like, if we even just had one run up to this 329 sat point, like it's a pretty massive run from current price, no? So, like another 400% move, is pretty significant, obviously. So. We'll see what happens, but this one's at the top of my watch list. And like I was trying to say before, if anyone has any tickers they want me to look at or any specific questions or anything, let me know. I can definitely go over whatever for you guys. Yeah. So I don't know. A couple others like I don't know. Like I was mentioning earlier, the futures coins look mediocre. Um, I think maybe once we flip this red box here, I'd consider getting in. But a lot of them have just lost some fairly important levels that I'm just like, kind of lost interest in them for the time being until they do some reclaiming. Yeah, SXP, I think I had some random news come out today, so went on this like super slight run at 350. Coming back for this, I guess you can call it a retest here at this green box. We'll see if it actually bounces and does anything. I know CZ, um, I think has, I don't know if he's part owner or owns this company in full or whatever. So I'm assuming he doesn't want it to just die, but at the same time, coins like BNB and shit, have also just kind of done really shittily. So you never really know what this one's gonna do. And I got stopped out over here earlier today. It flipped the horizontal and just kind of fell through, closed below, and I'm like, okay, fuck it. Like, what's the point in revenge trading it? And then the news came out, went on this tiny run, and now it's retesting already. It's already getting faded, so it's not overly bullish in my opinion. Let's see what else. I don't know. A lot of them bounced on the 4-hour 200 EMA. They're like, look how clean that is. Just bounced perfectly off of it. Yesterday, that would have been like the mintest, most mint entry, uh, right here, but clearly missed that. It's mediocre in my opinion. Same with a couple others. Did a bit of retesting. This one closed below, reclaimed. Whatever. Fuck it. Algo has to hold here actually, in my opinion. So as you can see, it's fucked around at this price point quite a lot, like consistently. This is a main SR point in my opinion. Um, so it retested, bounced, now retesting again and I don't know. A lot of the time when something retests again, you never know. The more you bounce on a support level, the weaker it gets. So if that breaks through, I think, and especially if you lose all these 1-hour MAs that you see here, and then start closing below, that's when it could get kind of nasty looking. So. XTZ, the biggest underperformer of the year. I don't know, it doesn't look very good. Lost this wedge, fucking hammer down. Lost the 1-hour MAs. Kind of trying to reclaim them here, but um, yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. For me to actually be interested, I'd want to at least get back to this wedge level up here and above these 1-hour MAs. Once we start um, getting above here and bouncing around and holding here, maybe. But it's Tezos has been kind of shit. Um, oh, interesting. It's always nice to have your levels all marked out, right? Because and it's good to have alerts set. As you guys can see, I don't have an alert here on Zek, but had this diagonal drawn, broke out, um, retested, bounced again, failed. Now it's kind of pressing against this diagonal again. Still at resistance, so I wouldn't buy here, but maybe if you get the 4-hour close above, because we're on the 4-hour, you could buy, the breakout and retest like usual. Not a huge gap until the next SR we have marked here, like only 8%. I don't know, take that as you will. Can be significant if you use leverage, but and then yeah, exit on a close back below, maybe close below the daily open even, but I'm not touching the futures right now to be fully transparent. Their price action is a little too wonky for me, and we're in uncertain times, and things have been just kind of falling out of nowhere like the past few days. So it's like, why am I going to tie up my money on things that, and then potentially lose like a good amount of capital, if we're going to just keep getting whomped, and I'll get stopped out, stopped out, stopped out. I just don't find a point. I'll wait till we actually have true, proper momentum. Um, on some of these coins, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think, before I dive in. So we'll see. I want to hope that the futures are gonna kind of chill out and then spot coins get to see some love, but who knows? XLM. So once again, look at these MAs. What the fuck are these? Like I don't know. Uh, Like we're kind of flipping them, but they don't seem to be having much significance. Like we're not bouncing off them. We're just kind of gliding through them like butter. Like what? I don't know. It's just not really my ideal scenario. Band looks kind of shitty. BNB had that random news today about I think they're staking and trying to go DeFi themselves or whatever the fuck. CZ's just trying to get some fucking more money under his belt. But yeah, had this massive Chad candle kind of bleeding off since. I don't know. I'm not buying into it. Fuck that. TRX also looks shitty. Had a big run. Massive pullback already. Lower lows, lower highs ever since we lost this level up here. So, yeah, not really my cup of tea. And fuck Tron, fuck Justin Sun, he's literally an idiot. So, yeah, Waves looks like it might be topped out, potentially. 1-hour MAs are kind of some bullish, some bearish. But yeah, clearly this candle here isn't too pretty. Maybe Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's kind of moving a little bit. Um, yeah. See, any kind of like any slight move on any of these on Bitcoin or ETH is causing like max pain to the futures coins. So yeah, fuck Tron. Honestly, fuck BTT. Fuck. I don't know what other stupid projects he has, but fuck that shit. So yeah, we'll see what else. Went over ETH already. Kind of rejected here on that horizontal. Didn't really expect it to break through the first time, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen next. Um, yeah, Cardano bearish retesting the 4-hour 200 EMA. Honestly, it's probably an easy short if anything. This looks absolutely god awful actually. Lost his horizontal 4-hour EMA's all coming in hot from above, which means they're gonna fucking shove us down. We're below the weekly open. We are above the daily open, but I don't think that's honestly of much significance. We haven't seen much volume or momentum or anything like that. If anything, I'd consider this distribution. Like this literally just gone sideways. Probably whales just fucking selling. I mean, as you can see down here, there's a bit more sell volume than buy volume, but it just I don't know. I don't think it looks very good. For me to be actually interested, we'd have to get like back above here, but above the weekly open at least, or even better above this horizontal level. But fuck Cardano. Charles Hoskinson is kind of a pleb. Yeah, buy more OM. Yeah, OM I think looks really good. Um, I won't spend a lot of time looking at it, but yeah, let's zoom out a bit. I kind of wish that you could just look on TradingView at all these Uniswap coins, but this chartx.pro website at least allows you to draw on them and get a feel for what's going on with the price action. But OM, I don't know. I have friends, fucking 350 messages. Look at this. On Telegram, but I have friends like, chatting about this coin constantly and hyping up the news coming out. I think there's multiple things coming out in the next week. I don't know what they are. I hope it's not just stupid bullshit or fake partnerships or whatever. But the people that are telling me, I do trust, and they've never shilled to me before, or our friend group before. So, I don't know. I'm liking. I'm hoping for some positive things, but. Simple wedge here that I've had drawn. Broke out earlier this afternoon, retested. I'm kind of chilling. I think the news starts, I want to say tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna stay bullish as long as we stay above this diagonal here. Once we start losing that, that's when things get kind of shaky, and then we'll probably come back and revisit. The fuck? Oh, sorry. We'll come visit these levels again. I don't really want that. Like that's yeah, 35% drop down in there. So honestly, if we lose this diagonal, I'll probably get out for the short term. But I'm obviously hoping that we just see some nice continuation. We barely had any price action. Newly listed, low price compared to like what the seed price was. So it hasn't seen much momentum yet, and it has huge hype in the space. So we'll see. But that's my brief show of this Uniswap coin OM. But I need to catch my breath. I don't usually talk this much, so. In my day-to-day life, I'm just on my computer with both normal work and you guys, so not a ton of like there's some interaction, but not fucking constant blah 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 blah. So let's see what else we got. And like, look at this garbage. What the fuck is this? This is not screen bullish to me. EOS like, what is this? Lost some levels, kind of bled out. 4-hour RMAs are just kind of fucking bleh, like it looks like fucking someone puked. Like what's the point? What like if I could choose any coin, why would I put my money into EOS? This just doesn't look good. So I'll just dump it, like dump this etc. What the fuck is this? Litecoin, same thing, no real direction. Daily looks fine, I guess. Like if you want to zoom out and everything, you might get a clearer picture of what's going on. Like Litecoin looks fine, I guess, on this retest here. I have this marked in red. You guys have probably noticed I'm using red and green or whatever. Honestly, you can just note them as an SR majority of the time. But yeah, I might see. Yeah, you'd expect price to not really. You don't want it to lose the previous highs. You don't want it to lose the daily MAs, especially. But Litecoin does look good on a high time frame thing. Maybe EOS does too. No, it doesn't. Yeah, fuck EOS. Fuck ETC. Yeah, no, they still look shitty on the daily as well. So Litecoin looks pretty good on a higher time frame. Hasn't done a lot since we've had this rally. Um, so it looks fine, I guess. Went over Bitcoin already and went over this fractal already, I think. Looks pretty similar, had deviations on both. Rejected since. Now we're just kind of going sideways in this range for now. I don't know if it'll play out the same. I don't know if we'll go to new highs. I don't know if we'll, fake out low and then just keep going low, type of thing. But we'll take it day by day, level by level, and see what we're left with. But yeah, XRP. Honestly, I really like the XRP chart and the Bitcoin pairing, but it kind of lost some levels and it's kind of losing the levels here as well. So it needs to pull up its pants if it's going to do anything positive. Yeah, BCH can go to hell. This is like fucking vomit. Comp. I haven't looked at these too much today, guys. Just so you guys know, it's not overly updated. Just because I have been um, staying away from the futures coins. They've been too choppy for me and not very fun to trade if it's not easy to trade. So yeah, no, comp looks kind of shit. 1 hour MAs are all just fucking. They're gonna womp us down in my opinion, unless we start flipping back this 194 level. I think we're gonna go for a quick tank down. So all right, shit. That goes over all the futures coins. Link also looks kind of shitty. Might be topped. I wouldn't long this by any means. If any of you are still longing Link, consider getting out because I think it looks bad. Okay, so let's go over my shitcoin list. Posted about it a few days ago now. I've been kind of updating it frequently. Um, Civic, the highest gainer for today. I'll close that, get a bigger picture of what's going on here. So as you guys know, I don't know who's listening, who's listened to these before, knows my kind of, favorable setup. But I like the ones that have been downtrending for a long period of time and then have found their sideways accumulation range. So if you like literally just mark some horizontals from when we stopped downtrending, you can easily see that once we kind of found a bottom or a range here, we've kind of we've going sideways more or less for over 400 days. So you can consider that accumulation, and that also gives these daily MAs that are, you can see they're spread out across the board. They look literally god awful. And as time goes by and as coins go sideways, they pull closer together, closer together, closer together, and then eventually get flipped underneath. So their resistance here, right? You can see they're above current price, resistance clearly. But then once we get above, especially this wick, oh shit, wick right here, if you guys can see, like the one where we closed above and retested into the 4-hour 200 EMA, that was like a buy trigger on its own and already would have got you up 25%. But I don't think it's nearly done yet. If you zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, um, nobody's gonna let a coin, or no one's gonna accumulate a coin or have it go sideways um, for that period of time. Like 400 days is like over a year of that. You're not gonna settle for a measly like 20% from the daily MA reset. Like that doesn't make sense in my opinion. So that's why I always go ahead, mark some more horizontal levels. Um, Not like the cleanest chart. These are usually just for my own personal use. But just to give you guys a general idea, you mark the horizontal levels that have prices previously kind of bounced around on. So there and there, it's not a perfect science. You could always argue other points where prices bounced, multiple times. But just for, I don't know, general idea, um, I've marked this 560 level and 950 level. So 58% first SR and then 169% second SR if we see nice healthy continuation. But with these daily MAs looking so goddamn beautiful and starting to curl up underneath, um, you basically just want to keep compounding on your position as they ride the daily MAs up, right? So any retest down to them around this 320-ish level would be for buying. And as long as you are above the daily MAs, just like keep compounding. And then if you see an impulse move up, maybe sell some of it, wait for a pullback back to that daily MA area. And just keep doing that on the way up, right? But then once you lose them, like once, don't know what a good example would be, but once, I guess I'll kind of go to previous price history. Oh no, it's not a good example. But anyway, once you start losing the daily MAs right here, when they go from support into resistance, that's when you definitely want to exit, like exit the market because things don't look good and it'll probably womp exactly like it did here. But yeah, as we're literally right at the beginning of this new cycle, and the MAs look so fucking good. Honestly, this is a really good time to accumulate. Even retest into this green box once we flip it, which as you can see, we haven't closed price above this level, except this one time in March. We haven't closed above it since like 2019. Like, yeah, 2019. So, pretty significant flip right here coming up today, which is pretty exciting in my opinion. So I think this is a really good one to hold on to because we have clear big gaps up until next SR points. So we'll see. This is one that's on my watch list, along with all these other ones. They're kind of similar structure, but I'll go over them with you guys. But honestly, like to sum up, what I look for in altcoins, honestly, is just what I just went over, and they all look pretty goddamn similar, every single coin on this list. But we'll do a little bit of comparison as I go through. All right, what time is it? 5:50. So 20 minutes talking to myself, 30 minutes talking to you guys. I'm gonna keep going for sure. Hopefully you guys are listening in. I'm gonna have to post the like timestamp when I post the URL for people. They'll be like, "Trevor, you fucking idiot. Why did you talk to yourself for that long?" But shit happens. So, all right, Walton Coin, another one on the top of my list, posted about for you guys in the position updates channel. Another significant close coming up, as you can see here. I'll kind of break it down a little bit more, but as you can see, we've been downtrending for a hell of a long time. Look at this. It's like 5K sats. Just keeps going back. To imagine that at one point, all these coins went from like a bottom level, just skyrocketing to these new highs. Like, we haven't seen anything yet, guys. Like, people that think this is the bull run, like, you've caught some Uniswap shit coins that have gone 10x. Sure, you just bought some Alika shit coin that's pumped and dumped mega hard. Good for you. There have been a couple coins that have gone in good runs yet, but honestly, nothing even close to 2017 in my opinion. Um, there are differences when it comes to like, I don't know, now we have like the whole Polkadot and DeFi and all that kind of stuff being the new hype now, but it's all really the same thing. It's just like different projects, different tickers, same setup, same structure. So anyway, um, basically we had this downtrend for a really goddamn long time. MAs obviously look literally disgusting. You would be an idiot in my opinion to buy any time throughout this because they're just bearish, 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 bearish. But now, and I guess I'll point out this diagonal I've drawn here. I think it's of some decent significance, seeing that is the top of our range and um, the previous high from February 10th of this year, and then this other one here, and this um, I guess other rejection here from July, and this other rejection from just yesterday or 2 days ago. And now we are flipping it, so that's bullish sign number one. We're above the diagonal. Bullish sign number two. Daily MAs are all flipped and lower lows and lower highs when comparing to these levels from earlier on this year. And then obviously, if I zoom out really far, I'll even remove drawings just to clear it up. Obviously, we gone sideways for a good while. Haven't had any big impulse moves up yet, but look at the potential on this. Holy shit. Like, it's a little bit mind blowing. And as usual, we'll take it level by level. Like, I'm not saying we're going to go to all time highs. I don't know if we're even going to make it like, a tenth of the way there, but Jesus Christ. If you just take it level by level as usual, horizontal by horizontal, diagonal, whatever indicators you guys are using, and just keep compounding on the way up. That's the best way to go about things. So I think this is down here. Um, yeah. So and then as you can see, there's some pretty decent gaps between each horizontal level. So I'll just be compounding, as we get up to this level, I'll start selling. And then once we get above retest, I'll buy back in. Fucking my check marks are really goddamn awful. Just put a real check mark there. So breakout retest, buy some more, and it's just the same thing over and over as I've preached about multiple times. Once we get to the resistance, you sell. Maybe it'll fumble around, but just basically like buy support, sell resistance. It's as easy as that. a lot of people don't really follow those rules. They get FOMO, they get eager, they want to hop in now, blah blah blah. But like, you just have a plan, stick to a plan, have reasoning behind why you're getting in, and like, just have some like confluence behind um, like your actual execution, you'll be a successful trader. It's as easy as that. Literally just look for the structure and follow the plan. You'll make money. I'm telling you that now. Especially on like when you have market conditions like where you've been seeing the past few weeks. Bear markets are obviously harder, right? Especially if you can't short it, then you're just kind of playing bounce plays, and those always get kind of sketchy. But when things are so bottomed and so reset and looking so ready to run, literally just do this. Like do what I've explained to you in the past like half an hour. It's not overly complicated. But as long as you do that, you'll make money. I'm telling you that right now. But those of you or whoever who just FOMO into shit, buy resistance levels, expecting to smash through. Sometimes it'll work out, but the odds are not as in your favor as if you're buying the support slash MA retest. Easy as that. So yeah, that covers that. I've gone over IOST already, gone over Walton Coin, gone over Civic. But they're all pretty similar, right? You see the MAs are all just so tight knit. That's literally all I look for. When I go through the Binance watch list, I can do it pretty quickly. You just go through and see, okay, how do the MAs look? How do the MAs look? Spread? Okay, shit. Spread shit. Well, we've already started moving up. Okay, next. Like, it's pretty straightforward shit. And I typically, especially at times like this, if something's already super pumped up, majority of the time I just move on to the next one. Not like, there's no point in me buying something that's already up, 300, 400, 500% or whatever. I'd rather buy something that's about to start moving 300 to 500% because the invalidation is so like tight and like, I don't know, the RR in my opinion, um, is favorable. So, all right, so. Yeah, I don't know if you're in here, Bjorsen. Bjorsen. I've never really known how to say your name, but in my mind, I've just kind of gone Bjorsen. So hopefully that's okay. And I don't know if you're even listening in, but need more beer. So back to my watch list. I won't go too far off track with my conversation here. So Lisk LSK, same thing. MA's reset. Had this diagonal drawn. We did close below yesterday. Yeah. I don't know if you're listening in or not, but what's up, bro? Um, have this diagonal drawn. Yeah, closed above, retested, failed, but it was just a retest of the daily MAs. Now we are back above this diagonal I've drawn. Daily close in 2 hours. The daily close in 2 hours from now. So if we close back above this diagonal, we haven't yet, right? So this is still considered resistance. Even though we're above right now, it's still resistance because the candle has not closed yet. So it still has the opportunity to go all the way back down and close back below. But once it's actually closed, it's more challenging for it. Like, it's just like the TA rule, it's once you actually close above, the likelihood of this going from resistance and resistance into support is high. So that I don't know. I think that kind of goes over the list. I'm not gonna start marking every single level for you guys. It's not overly complicated. Just set horizontal marks where prices messed around a lot before. Look for notable diagonals. Just look at the local high. Okay, look at the high after that, like the lower high after that, or whatever it may be, and just kind of mark some horizontal levels and more often than not, they actually are quite significant and you can trade based off them, right? So, yeah. So ideally, you'd want to get in once the daily closes above. You just want to get in there. It's super close to where current price is, but the tighter like your entry or the closer to the diagonal your entry is, the like tighter the invalidation, right? So you can set your stop below the daily MA cluster here. You don't want to keep it too loose. Um, yeah, or too tight. So 12%. If bullish, you just don't expect price to come down here, right? Because you'd be losing some very key levels. So that's Lisk. XMR already popping off. Um, Once again, notable diagonal. shooting up above, daily MAs reset, gone sideways for a long period of time. Ideally, once again, you'd want to get in on the retest once the daily closes above, but once again, hasn't closed yet. Still could come back below and be seen as resistance and not be ready yet. But I have a gut feeling that with such a Chad candle and 2 hours to go, and it's been holding this all day, the likelihood of it closing back below the diagonal is slim. So yeah, enter as close to the diagonal retest as you can. Yeah, I think that kind of goes over that. But yeah, similar thing, like literally the exact same thing for most. Just look at the gaps between SRs, look at the daily MA reset, make sure it's like 99% of these Binance coins have literally just gone sideways for about a year or over a year now. So, yep, sound like a broken record here, guys, but honestly, it's there's a lot of similarities to the structures that I at least look for. Like some people feed off of the 3 minute time frame on like OMG. Like look at this. If I'm on the 3 minute of OMG, okay, look, I instantly see, okay, look, diagonal there. Oh, look, another diagonal there. Oh, now look, now we have a nice little 5 minute wedge. Okay, well, we'll buy the close above and it'll moon. Honestly, it probably will. And it's kind of funny I landed across this on my first try, but um, yeah, literally a valid play right here. And it just depends on what kind of thing you're looking for, what kind of plays that work best for you. But I prefer the more high time frame, 4 hour to daily altcoin structure. I thrive off of spot coins. I thrive off of daily structures. Um, Kind of just have an eye for it, I guess you could say, but it's not really complicated once you get enough practice and um, can just learn how to draw all of your lines properly and maybe implement some fibs and whatever, which I really need to start doing more of, but I don't know. I kind of think I have my edge and think I know what I'm doing. So, um, yeah, but they all look pretty similar, right, guys? Like AppCoin, set my levels, not a huge gap till the next SR. Um, yeah, only like 8%. ONG, same thing. Gone sideways for a while, set my range. Boom, boom, sideways for over a year. The only thing on this one is that these daily MAs, like price is trapped between the daily MAs for actually, 24 days, almost a month. We've kind of just been juggling around in here. But you'd expect the MAs to squeeze, kind of like, let's go back to that OMG chart. Wow, literally, what is going on? Okay, kind of similar thing with a wedge. Oh, it's literally not the right OMG chart, but anyway, um, same thing as a wedge, two diagonal lines. When price converges like between two diagonals, it's forced to pop out, right? Like as you guys have seen, price pops once it gets the closer it gets, like it's running out of room, so it has to go somewhere, and usually gives a burst in volume one direction or the other. Um, but when it comes to daily MAs, it's kind of a similar thing, right? Where you're squeezing on these MAs, squeezing against these MAs, and then price is forced to pop up or down. Uh, um, might not lead to anything significant, or it might. But I think ONG looks pretty good. Um, like I guess for a more long-term play. Um, but yeah, I'd as usual just sell resistance here, 31% above. Wait for the flip. Oops, shit, what the fuck is that? And then maybe set another horizontal here, and just do the same thing, level by level. Pretty straightforward, I think. So hopefully that's clear for you dudes. But yeah, that kind of goes over what I'm looking for. And yeah, you can see that like the MAs are kind of weird on this one. It's not in my like top picks, but like as you can see, they were kind of all spread out and looking pretty nasty recently after this massive impulse move. Some would consider this the test pump. A test pump is just kind of exactly what it sounds like. Whales just throw in a bunch of buys to make sure that they have full control of the market, let it sell off, and then do the actual pump where this is just like the minnow compared to the whale where things really go on a significant run. Or it could just be considered a deviation, or maybe it was just a pump and dump group. I'm not entirely sure, but um, yeah, we'll see what happens with this one. It's on my watch list, and we'll see if price actually goes for a decent run or not. But Myth not looking as hot as it was before. Closed below the daily 200 EMA, so the thick red closed below here. Retesting it now, it's struggling to get back above, close above. So it's actually not looking as hot. Um, can see a pretty obvious diagonal here. So I'd consider it safe maybe until we close below this diagonal. Um, yeah, so maybe it'll come for a bounce, maybe it'll hang out, and then maybe it'll get back above the remaining daily MAs. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this one ages. Um, yeah, BCPT kind of same thing. Daily MAs reset, but kind of wonky price action. XEM was an active call that I posted for you guys. Um, yeah, broke out of this diagonal. Didn't come from much of a retest. Daily MAs are starting to pull up, which is exactly what you want to see. And price will hopefully just keep soaring up, move 21%-ish since entry. Um, didn't even come back all the way for a retest, which is bullish, and these wicks down, which were like prices bought up. Obviously another bullish sign, so we'll see. And this is like an older coin. XEM is from quite a long time ago, and we're seeing coins like OMG, like XEM for this example, start to go on big runs. So we'll see. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen, but once again, as long as we hold these daily MAs and this diagonal especially, I'd lean bullish. Um, so TNB, it's on my watch list just because I like the MA structure on it. Like they're just all flipped. We're sitting on top of it. Really tight validation if you want to get in at like if you could get filled at 25, 24 sats, that would be obviously super ideal. But this like death wick we had was super like off-putting. Like when you go from 47 sats down to 4, and lose your entire capital, if you were in that position, that's really not what you want to see. But honestly, you never know. But we are sitting out in SR right now, and if it's going to hold, it has to hold here. So we'll see. I'm not buying any TNB to make that clear, but I'm interested to see how it ages. Agrello, super same thing. Ranged for a long time, but I know I mean, yeah, Agrello loves to like go on massive fucking pumps when the time's right. Um, Once again, could consider this the test pump we had right here. And daily MAs look super good. They're kind of fanning out and they're all underneath price. Once again, just like sell top of range. Maybe wait for like obviously wait for the flip, close above, buy the retest, and maybe it'll moon. But we're kind of just sitting on the daily MAs now. So honestly, like a buy from here down to like I don't know 500 sats. As close as you can to the 500 sat level would be super ideal for an entry. So maybe just set an alert on TradingView. Super easy to do. Set an alert once we cross, 501 sats. Bing bang boom. Bob's your uncle. You get in. As long as like the whole market isn't dying, would be a good entry. So. Yep, I think that covers that pretty good. But yeah, all the same thing. Just MAs are reset, and I'm just waiting to see how things kind of build a little bit more. But BKBT is literally the only one on POB other than RSR that I thought looked good. Like the rest looks so goddamn awful. I scanned the whole exchange, literally looks terrible. But yeah, this one flip the MAs, maybe just sell top range at 850-ish, a quick 27%. But I don't have funds on Huobi. I don't think there's much of a point right now. Yeah, with like everything else looking so bullish, why have your money on exchange that like looks mediocre right now? Um, yeah, I won't go over that one. Yeah, fun, same thing. Higher highs, higher lows ever since this area. So we're reclaiming levels, reclaiming the MAs. Um, Yeah, in a high time frame, once again, just huge gaps between levels. That's the nice thing about Binance and having gone through that bear market and gone through this accumulation that we're at a point now where like the gaps between each level are so significant and likely to at least tap some of them that like it's easy money. So H bar. So Hobie sadly looks. Yeah, Hobie looks so like I scanned the whole thing twice today. Awful. Like god awful. I was like how is this exchange even alive? Like do they just not care or what? Like we're I don't know. I don't understand, but like Ricky told me, they own MXC, and I'm assuming that's just where they're all their attention's gone, at least for the time being. Maybe when the bear market comes, usually Hiobi sees like good pumps when the bear market's around. That's why a lot of people switch over to that exchange because it was one that was, alts were green. So yeah, H bar, I think it looks really good. It was posted on Coinbase that they might be listing it. And then there's not much going on with the MAs. Like they are looking like reset, but that's just because price has gone sideways for so long, and they're just bound to reset nicely after doing that for so long. But it's one that this is a good long-term play. I think like if you have spare money, don't want to have a lot of maintenance on it. It's one to hold on to. Maybe just wait for the Coinbase listing or any kind of like price movement. Maybe set some alerts when price starts moving and just like start selling it. Pretty straightforward. But it looks like a good setup to me. Like broke to this diag, lost it, reclaimed, now reclaiming the daily MA. So there's at least someone trying to hold price up, prop it up, keep it alive. And it's an IEO as well, so it's, I don't know, in my opinion, some good reasoning to at least maybe have a bit of exposure on this one. And then you could just, as usual, set some levels based on where price has gone before. I don't know, maybe just start with this local high at 775 for that's almost 100%, right? Yeah, 82%. So super simple. Um, yeah, two more I'll go through super quickly. Wabi. Might be a little early because as you guys can have seen in the other structures, a lot of the coins I've looked at have gone sideways for a long time. This one kind of has with these random impulse runs, not simply sideways, and it just kind of fucks up the MAs once you see these impulse moves. It doesn't keep them all nice and smooth and pulled together, but regardless, I know this one likes to pump really hard too when the time's right. So keeping it on my watch list, the MAs look pretty good. Then once we get above this diagonal here, I'd probably start getting interested in building a position. But for now, I'm just watching. And then Nav. Nav, I actually have some of this coin just because like once again, these MAs just look really good. Like it's MA porn, like Pierre says. They're just like so nice and tight underneath price that like you expect it to, I don't know, push it up and just looks clean, right? So, and it's ranged for like 400 days as well, and has had some pretty decent moves, but still have let the MAs reset nicely. So, I don't know, throw a couple $100 at it, let it fucking age for, yeah, set an alert, let it age for a few weeks or months or whatever, and the likelihood of it, um, you know, having an impulse move again is super, super high. Um, yeah, it's just about opportunity cost and, allocating your funds to, the proper setups. But I think it looks good. And I threw a few $100 at it, so I'll see what happens with that. Whew, okay. And Bitcoin's moved a little bit since we started talking, but nothing drastic. Lost, I think, yeah, it was above 12K. Lost 12K, but still nothing drastic. I'll open the chart I have once more and yeah, still nothing drastic going on. If we lose this, like if we lose the daily open, we'll go to the diagonal. If we lose the diagonal, we'll probably go to the midpoint. Then once we lose the midpoint, we'll go to the monthly open. Then once we lose the monthly open, the 200 EMA, then the MA, then the range low. So there's a bunch of different levels that we should hopefully at least have some kind of like bounce off of if we reach. If we just fucking, if we just tank through them all and like close below here, that's fucking Mayday zone. So fucking exit all markets if we get below here, and then wait for Bitcoin to find some kind of range. But ugh, it'll be pretty nasty in my opinion if we start losing that. It'll at least take a good amount of time to get a nice reset and before we see any kind of bullish continuation. But I'm not jumping to that yet. We're still just in this. Um, like I'm not pulling the red alarm or anything. I think we're just probably gonna range in here for a little while longer. Maybe lose the diagonal and just kind of fuck around for a bit, but nothing to, go crazy about yet. So, whew. Okay, so I think I'm gonna hop off unless anyone wants me to go over anything else. I kind of hopefully that wasn't too quick, and hopefully that gave you guys some light on the coins I'm looking at and why I'm looking at them, and maybe what to look for yourselves. And if anyone has any ideas on coins they like or whatever, like usual, just throw your setups in. I really enjoy looking at what you guys like find, and I don't, you know, me bouncing ideas off myself all the time isn't the most exciting thing in the world, but um, it makes us money, so that's the important part. So, appreciate anyone listening in. Apologies for the weird start to this. I didn't realize I was talking to myself for, 20 minutes or so. So, um, yeah, I think that's that. So, if anyone needs anything, give me a holler. Otherwise, talk to you guys soon. I apologize for the lack of streams. I've been so balls deep in, everything else. Um, I don't know, I feel like I've just been so mentally drained, but um, yeah, these past few days have been really nice for myself to get a bit of a mental reset. As things have been kind of choppy, it allowed me time to rest and um, yeah, keep an eye on things, but get back to a more normal state of mind. So, well, you guys don't need to listen to me rant anymore. So, once again, thanks again, guys. Talk to you guys soon.